And now on Hometown Radio 1580 KGAF, it's time for Hometown Community Service. Here is Dee Blanton.
Thanks very much. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to our Thursday Community Service program. Today, Munster Memorial Hospital Day, and very happy to have a first-time guest on the program, but somebody that I know many of you know, and we're talking about Tiffany Lutkenhaus, who is the new Chief Nursing Officer at Munster Memorial Hospital. Hi, Tiffany.
Hello, good morning.
How are you today?
I'm doing well, thanks. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. For those that may not know you, though, why don't you tell us a little about yourself, a little about your career in healthcare?
All right, well, I'm a mom of two, first of all, and I live in Munster. I started out my nursing career at Wichita Falls at United Regional Healthcare System. I was there for about a year, and I transferred over to Munster to be closer to home and have the luxury of being close to my family and community. I started out on the floor there working as a nurse and worked my way up to assistant chief nursing officer, and then now I'm the new CNO.
And for those that don't know, all of these initials and things we throw out there, CNO is Chief Nursing Officer. Used to be known in the old days as DON, Director of Nursing, but they've kind of changed all this up. Everybody's a chief now, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It's the way it goes. We have Tiffany here today to talk a little bit about preparedness, and we're talking about the hospital's preparedness in the event of, I guess, massive influx of patients due to special events that go on around here all the time. And not the least of those is, of course, in April, German Fest. That brings thousands and thousands of people to Munster, and I know you see an influx there. But another thing you see, 3 or 4 times a year, Rednecks with Paychecks over in St. Joe. And I know that with the thousands of people that show up at that several times a year, you guys are bound to get inundated or close to it with extra patients. Tell us a little about that.
Well, Rednecks with Paychecks goes on twice a year, once in the spring and then once in the fall. And we see a very large increase in patients. So any given month, we see about 80 to 100 patients in our emergency room. Rednecks with Paychecks weekends, we see about 40 plus patients in that 3 to 4 day span. So we do have to really amp up our staff and be prepared for all the fun and patience that comes along with Rednecks with Paychecks.
It's fun until they become a patient for them, is what I'm talking about.
Yes.
What sort of cases do you see most?
Well, we see a lot of trauma patients, broken legs, arms, ATV rollovers, just stuff like that. It gets really muddy out there, and with this weather, it's going to be a mess. So we have to really be prepared and kind of have everybody from housekeeping, nurses, and admissions there and prepared and ready to take care of our patients that weekend.
Of course, we all know it's better to be prepared, have the extra folks there and ready, and not need them than to not have them there when you do.
Correct.
And I commend MMH for doing that and stepping forward. Now, I know that you have been working hard to develop relationships and all with other outside organizations who might be able to come in and help if you need it.
Sure. This has been a really busy week and a few months even working up to this weekend. I've been in contact with NTMC's ER director, Allegiance, Ambulance Service, Sacred Cross, and Cook County EMS all this week, trying to get a game plan together of if we need help, who's there to back us up, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and I don't know, do at Rednecks, do they have any emergency medical personnel standing by at their scene?
Sure. Sacred Cross has 2 different main stations out there, I believe, and then multiple ambulances as well to bring patients to us and other local hospitals if need be. Mm-hmm. And then they have Airbuses out there as well. I think it's Air-Evac is the company they're using this season. With this weather, where they may or may not be able to use the ambulance helicopters. Mm-hmm. So we're kind of being prepared for that as well. Yeah,
and I know that speaking of Sacred Cross, they're going to kind of step in and help out quite a bit this weekend, right?
Yes, Sacred Cross, they really work good with us. We have a really good working relationship and really try to build upon that. They are going to have an ambulance stationed at our hospital for transports out so we can get the patients to the places they need to see quicker. Mm-hmm. Allegiance is going to be there as well. And I'm just hoping that it's not too crazy, but just enough amount of fun.
and of course, we might point out that every organization has rules and regulations and this, that, and the other. And really, the reason that you need Sacred Cross and these other folks is because Cook County, number one, is limited in the number of ambulances they have, period. But they have a policy that only one can be out on transfer at a time, right?
Right, that's correct. So whenever we send a patient out with Cook County, that means that they're going out of the county most likely to get that patient to the help they need. Mm-hmm. If we have another patient in our area that needs help, they won't be there as quick to respond. So we try to limit what we use them for, make sure it's a real emergency and we need this patient gone in now and our other resources are run out. So Sacred Cross is going to be a huge asset there to have on scene. Absolutely.
That's great. Now, of course, as we've alluded to, Rednecks with Paychecks is coming up this weekend. But let's talk about the everyday, normal, usual things that go on at MMH. I know in your position now as Chief Nursing Officer, your vantage point from overseeing everything is a little different than it was when you were a floor nurse, so to speak. But talk a little bit about how things have changed at MMH, because I know there are people out there that think of Munster and Gainesville as some just little country podunk hospitals. You guys know what you're doing. You are a hospital that can really help people, and I think that's one point we really want to get out.
Right. So these little community hospitals are a much bigger asset than I think a lot of people realize. If you're in the rural area like we are, as being in Cook County, it's very important to have that local hospital there to support you in that emergency need, especially. You're out in the middle of nowhere sometimes, and we can't do all the specialty services at this point. We're working on doing that, to a higher level. But until then, we can stabilize and get you, where you are in a good position to get you to another hospital that can do those specialty needs.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And you've probably heard this. I've heard people say that if I'm a patient, take me straight to Denton, take me straight to Dallas. But you really need to think about, if you're in a trauma situation or heart attack or whatever the case may be, you need to get to the nearest medical facility possible to get stabilized first. That's what's most important.
Right. Yeah, that really is an asset to your community to have those facilities. If we don't utilize the Munster and Gainesville hospitals as we should, they could, one day they may not be there and you're going to say, oh, shoot, I got to go to Denton, and that's not always close enough.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And while our EMS crews do a great job, they're not a hospital,
right,
and so it's important to get to the nearest hospital and get stabilized. And I've preached that for years and years, and I hope it doesn't take one of the two hospitals being gone someday for people to realize the importance. And that's why I wanted you to point that out, because it is such an important thing. And I guess the gist of what MMH is into right now is the swing bed, services. And you might explain to folks just what that is. And I know you have a lot of swing bed patients most of the time.
Yeah, we really enjoy our swing bed program. It's nice to be able to see patients come in, sometimes really debilitated and just weak, and they're tired. They've just had a surgery, or maybe they just had an episode where they're not in the best health and they need a little bit of rehab and therapy, or IV therapy, something like that, to get them up and going again. We're a location close to home where the family can come in and out and visit. It's we provide really good service, and it's convenient for the families as well.
And we talked last month a lot about the rehab and whatnot, and you've really got a growing reputation all across North Texas for the rehab department there. Talk a little bit about the importance of that, and the fact that you really, in order to use the gym facilities and all there at the hospital, you don't really have to be a patient.
Right. So we've opened up our gym to the public, so you can buy a membership. Some people qualify for discounts and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So it's a good thing to call and check it out. Come by and see us. We'd be glad to give you a little tour. Karamie's in the fit. She's really good at giving everybody a little quick tour and explaining everything to you. If you're afraid of the machines, don't be. They're really good about walking you through that as well. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's nice to be able to have all those things close to home in your local communities.
And I guess back to the swing bed for just a minute. I imagine probably the most satisfaction all of you get as nurses and healthcare people are seeing people that come in, go through all the program, and leave feeling so much better and in so much better health.
Yes, it's very rewarding experience to be able to watch the people come in sometimes at their worst, and then they leave walking out by themselves, and they're able to go home a lot of the times.
Yeah.
It's very rewarding career.
Yeah. And all of those folks end up singing the praises of Munster Memorial Hospital, and that's great. Couldn't want it anymore. Tiffany, we're out of time. I want to say thank you for coming in today.
Thank you, Dee.
I know Carrie was too scared to come, and so she kind of pushed it off on you, and anyway, but that's okay. That is what the CNO does. So you step up and you cover for everybody else. No, we were going to have Carrie Snyder on today, but she gracefully asked Tiffany to come in and do it, and we appreciate you doing that. Keep up the good work, and keep representing MMH well. Okay.
Thank you, Dee.
Thanks very much. Appreciate it. Tiffany Lutkenhaus, the Chief Nursing Officer at Munster Memorial Hospital. And that's going to wrap it up for our Thursday program here at Hometown Radio 1580 KGAF.